online personal fitness coach, online health coach,
Yeah.
and group personal trainer at Fit Stop here in
Northern Liberties and Cherry Hill.
all around health and fitness guru. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Just provide value, free value, you know what I mean? It's tough to get people to give you your money. Give, give, give. Never ask, and it's been working out really well. Start, just start. The hardest part is just starting. You never know who you're going to connect with or where your journey is going to lead you. Create your luck.
Yes,
100%.
yeah. So like when the opportunity's there, you're prepared to seize it.
Yes. If you aren't like obsessed and passionate, like it's tough to be all in if you're not obsessed.
Yeah, you have to be. It's addition by subtraction. Like, you know, if you want to be great at something, you can't do everything.
The best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago.
Yep.
The next best time is today.
Yep.
Welcome to the Fuel Hunt Show.
What's going on, Eagles? Welcome to the Fuel Hunt Show. I am Drew. I am joined by my cousin and co-founder Joey, as well as our esteemed guest, online personal fitness coach, online health coach, and group personal trainer at Fit Stop here in
Northern Liberties and Cherry Hill.
Northern Liberties, Cherry Hill. So all around health and fitness guru. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Guru.
Never been called a guru. I like
And my
that.
man is looking like a specimen. Dude.
Yes, yes.
I appreciate
yes.
that. 24-hour
I expected nothing less.
In the middle of a 24-hour fast, but it's like, are you on board?
I just had a banana.
All right.
I just had a banana, so.
For the record, I wouldn't recommend breaking the fast with a banana, guys. Protein first.
Wanted to have my friend Frank here on because Frank is in the middle of the journey that we took and a lot of Eagles out there in the V1 community are taking and turning his side hustle into his main gig. So I wanted to bring Frank on, share his story, his background, his journey to where he's going and where he has been thus far.
Yep. Yeah.
So Frank, if you could give us a little bit of background into your, I would say your life, your journey into health and fitness, how you got here and what brought you here.
Okay, if I bore you at all, like, don't be shy.
We'll bring you back in.
Enough. You know what I mean? All right, I grew up playing ice hockey my entire life. I basically started lifting weights in my parents' basement when I was like 12, 13 years old. So literally 20 years I've been working out. I was always the skinny kid. Got to high school, was obsessed with getting big, just ate everything. You know what I mean? Calories. Lifted like an idiot. That's probably why I've herniated now. So got big at all costs, went to college, stopped playing ice hockey, got chubby/fat for the first time in my life. You know what I mean? I was working out 5 days a week and it didn't even look like I worked out.
I will disagree with that. When I met Frank in college, he was
Different definition of chubby.
I was big with a shirt on.
He was big. He was like the dude that we all knew as like the jack dude. Like,
I was not happy with my appearance. I will say that.
I guess you're comparing where you were previously, a few years before to.
And for someone that works out 5 days a week, I mean, we all see the people, if you go to a traditional gym that you see in there every day, it could be for 5-10 years. And some people never change their appearance. Yeah. Because what we do outside the gym has the biggest impact on our body composition and weight. You know what I mean? You can do all the work you want, but if you're not doing stuff outside the gym that matters, you're not going to get results. So and I thought I was doing all the things right. You know what I mean? The brown rice, the peanut butter sandwiches, you know what I mean? The bananas.
Bro science.
Yeah, bro science, exactly.
Yeah.
The muscle gainer, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what kind of led me to how I just really went towards nutrition after that. I discovered Ben Greenfield on Joe Rogan, and that kind of changed my life. Drew's a Ben guy with me. He's the GOAT, you know what I mean? Longevity. He kind of just opened up the world to like nutrition, biohacking in parentheses, because it's such a broad term and people get scared away by biohacking. But just stuff like the cold plunges and stuff like that.
Was there a seminal moment or a breaking point where when you were in college, you weren't happy with your appearance, that you said, okay, look, like what's going on here? Something has to change?
Yeah, it was kind of like over I want to say like a winter break. It was back home. You know what I mean? I didn't wake up in college one day because college is a tough atmosphere to, you know what I mean? Turn into a nutrition guy.
Sure.
Yeah, like in college at the cafeteria, we were eating endless like burgers, chicken, just trying to get big. And I was in that hockey mindset where I played hockey literally every single day. I mean, imagine how many calories I was burning.
Yeah, of course.
So my physique never suffered because I was nonstop moving and doing stuff. So when that stopped, I thought I could eat anything I wanted when I worked out. That was my quote. Like, I can eat anything I want if I work out. Doesn't matter. And then I look like shit. You know what I mean? I feel like shit. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what kind of led me into like just doing my own research years and years now. We're like 10 years later now of me just diving all in on the nutrition stuff.
Being a student.
Being a student, self-taught. I went to school for criminal justice. I'm sure we'll get there. And again, if I bore you, tell me I'm boring you.
No, you're good.
Went to school for criminal justice. You know what I mean? Didn't know. I went in undecided. Didn't know what I wanted to do in college. And you kind of have to make your mind up like right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that led me. I'm 9 years now in law enforcement, and I have all the respect for anyone in law enforcement out there, especially in today, 2024. It's a tough job, but I'm just so checked out of it. I'm tired of making health and fitness. Like, that is my main interest, my top goal. Everything I was doing, I was basing my day around, hey, how can I work but get in my exercise snacks? I'm waking up bright and early for my Pomodoro breaks. I'm waking up bright and early to do the cold plunge before I go and do my job. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's how kind of I went into that. Shout out Drew. I don't think I'd be here without Drew. Dead serious, because he's been pushing me since day one. Hey, put yourself out there. Put yourself out there. I think the main thing that held me back and holds so many people back is just caring what other people think so much.
That's the truth.
I mean, it's just insane. And I don't think I could have done this at 25, because even at 25 years old, I still cared so much about what people think. You know what I mean? And Drew from day one was like, in my corner, put yourself out there. And another great piece of advice from Drew was just give. So when I launched this in April of 2023, that's how long I've been doing my FTV Fitness stuff on the side. So just a little over a year later, I'm quitting my job, which is insane to think about. Just putting myself out there, which Drew said to do way before April 2023. I will say that. But yeah, a lot. Just provide value, free value. You know what I mean? It's tough to get people to give you your money. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Give. Never ask. And it's been working out really well.
I appreciate that shout out.
Absolutely, dude. Wouldn't be here without you. That's serious.
Thanks. That means a lot. I remember, so when Frank and I started, when we met and then we reconnected later in life, he was always, like, him and I connected on the health and fitness wavelength, I'll say. But he always took it like a step further than I did. Like, him and I, like, I'd be like, yeah, like, you got something here, dude. Like, you should do this. And it really just comes down to that fear of, especially being, I feel like everyone could say they're from a small town. That small town mindset of like the Northeast Philly or like other areas of the world and the country. There's that fear of being judged by other people in your area. You know what I mean? Especially in a place where we grew up. Everyone could be very judgmental at times. So stepping out of your comfort zone and starting your business and just posting on social media saying, hey, I do this, is such a huge step for any of us to take. Like, when we started Fuel Hunt, people clown me all the time, like, oh, like the few, like, oh, real cool, like the few, that's like corny or whatever. And then now it's a global community of hundreds of thousands of people, and the same people that were clowning me are the people coming up with me now, like saying like, oh, it's so awesome, like what you built. So it really starts out that way. And if the key in my opinion to not fall to one of the people like, oh, I told you so, is sticking with it and making sure you don't quit when it gets hard. Because if you give up, then you're just one of those people that they thought you were going to be. You know?
Yep.
I love that. So yeah, to piggyback off that, I am obsessed with health and fitness, through bettering myself every day. Like, when I got a work email that said I had to be at a training for 8 hours a day sitting somewhere, that drove me insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, now I got to I got to wake up at 3:50 a.m. to get a workout in before I got to drive here to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just like you said, putting yourself out there. Instagram/social media is the only place where you can advertise for free.
Yeah.
You have control of that. You don't have to pay for it. Start. The hardest part is just starting.
I agree.
For anyone and doing anything in their business journey, their weight loss journey, anything.
Joey and I talk about this a lot, but one thing I think people that are making this journey from side hustle to main gig, they lack in their marketing or or efforts to build a business is intention. And I think that's one thing you do well as an entrepreneur is like a lot of thought, effort, and intention goes into every post you make. And you can tell, and every free guide you give out or things like that. So I think that's where people miss. Like they post whatever they feel like on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, it can actually be detrimental to your overall goal.
Yeah, I mean, I think it sounds like you're very intentional with the value that you're providing to others, and that's what it takes. You know, it's not really what you want to see on your feed. It's what's going to provide value to the people that you're trying to serve. You're very passionate about what you're doing. I would venture to guess that you're even more passionate about helping other people, right, embark on the same journey you went on, learn the same things you learned, you know what I mean?
100%.
And coaching and guiding them. For just to be clear, so maybe the few that are watching and listening don't know, FTV, you provide what type of services for your community?
So it's one-on-one coaching.
Okay.
No matter what your goal is. I've held the hard gainers gain weight. Majority of my ideal client is an overweight parent that wants to lose weight, change their life.
Okay.
I have a 12-week program. You get macros. I do nutrition, personalized workouts. Like you
Yep.
get everything. I have a cookbook. My wife and I wrote a cookbook.
Nice. So when you say overweight, I love that niche because it's a niche that needs a lot of help,
Yep.
right? As parents, we know this. When you say overweight, 5 pounds overweight, 10 pounds overweight, 15, like,
I've worked with all of it. So if
Okay.
you're 5 pounds overweight, maybe you just want a body recomp. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same steps. It'll be more challenging for someone just to start.
sure.
But I've worked with, I have a website, transformations are all on there,
Nice.
testimonials.
Nice.
And that's what you got to do in the beginning. You got to work for free, get testimonials.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one talks about that.
Yep.
No.
People just think people are going to line up with their money. You know what I mean? It's
Money,
not how it works.
Yeah, no. It's the exchange of money. Money comes to you when you provide value.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So, and what a lot of people don't realize is you're building that proof and value in the beginning just on your back with your own sweat equity. There's no pay. You know, that's what a lot of people don't understand. And when we did our episode on side gig side hustle to main gig, I don't know if we even really mentioned that.
No.
You know what I mean? That's one thing maybe we left out.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm like when I'm helping Frank with things. I feel like that's the one thing I always like harp on too.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drew's been on that. Give.
Yep.
Don't ask. And Drew exemplifies that. I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of things possessions you've given over the years since I met you, insane. So definitely.
The first FTV logo.
The first FTV logo, I thought of that when I was going to the bathroom. I'm like,
That's like
Drew literally gave me the FTV, my own logo. Out of the blue one day. He's like, yeah, I'm going to have my designer like hook you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We like to do things like that especially like I'm
amazing.
big. Escaping the rat race is like
Yeah.
my biggest thing. Like to have my friends like go on that journey as well. Like I feel like that's the best gift you can give someone. But
When we see somebody in the community that's super passionate about something and also super passionate about serving people, the number one thing that we don't want to happen is their dream to die with them. You know what I mean? We want them to realize that, and that's where the giving comes from. So, it doesn't surprise me. Some of these gives,
that was well said. So I mean, not to all like pat you on the back here, but like that was bestowed, like that effort of giving and like that virtue, I'll say, like it comes from Joey. Like he did things for me when he was like my first mentor that I didn't ever have people do for me before. You know what I mean? Like he was always giving to me and telling me to go do this stuff. So like Joey's that for me, and I'm just passing it on.
So
to you.
Joey, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going to start thanking you for everything.
Yeah.
just do me a favor. The only favor that you have to do me is just pass it on.
Yeah,
And
I
it
love
seems
it.
like you're doing that. So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Real fast, to piggyback on everything, you never know who you're going to connect with
yeah.
or where your journey is going to lead you. For example, I went to college with Pat Bryan, okay? I'm going to throw that name out there because that's how I got involved in FitStop.
Yeah.
Went to college with Pat, never really talked or kept up with him, except on social media, you're friends with him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I launched FTV Fitness last April, doing my thing, just post relentless. And Pat becomes a general manager of a brand new gym opening up. And he reaches out to me out of the blue.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would have never been in this community at FitStop, never been able to be in a position to quit my job.
Yeah.
If not for that, knowing Pat in college, he has to become a general manager of a brand new gym. He has to see me posting on social media.
Yep.
And here I am.
Do you think the interactions you had with Pat in college were that left like good impressions on him? Would you say like?
I don't know. I was a different person in
Okay.
college. I'm going to be completely honest.
I
I'm
was
not gonna bullshit you over here, Drew.
But he's seen. I like that. But he watched, whether he acknowledged it or not, you relentlessly giving value every day on social
the
media.
growth,
So
the
like,
growth.
We did bond in college over weightlifting.
Okay.
100%.
He's also jacked.
okay, I got you.
Pat's huge in the fitness space. He's become like a mentor to me, whether he
Yeah.
realizes it or not. He's been like a mentor to me in this new gig.
It's the, there's a common phrase. It's like, oh, it's all about who you know. That it's part of that victim mentality sometimes. Like people that aren't working hard to pursue or achieve their dreams. Oh, well, I don't know the right people. Oh, it's all who you know. But that's not the whole truth. Like network is very important, but network back with consistency, right? If you weren't posting every day relentlessly, providing value, right? Screaming into the void sometimes it feels like. Pat would have
No shot.
You
Out
would
of
have
sight, out of mind.
You wouldn't have been on his radar.
100%.
So this is the whole thing. Is it luck favors hard workers? Oh, you're lucky.
Perfect.
You met him in.
Create your luck.
Yes,
100%.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
So like when the opportunity's there, you're prepared to seize it.
Yes.
You're prepared. So that's one thing that I definitely wanted to call out there.
So, well, we got a little bit off.
Sorry for that.
Off the
Nah,
no,
that's all right, that's good.
we take these journeys all like it's like we're on this path and then we go all
Yeah.
the way. So anyway,
It's called conversation.
we take
Man.
the
It's
long-
all good.
We
It's
take
called
the long way.
conversation.
We take the long way. So just to circle it back to the career in law enforcement, can you
Yep.
tell us what that was like, what was challenging about it, and how you felt pulled to do other things?
Yeah,
Or-
so stress is the first thing I can think about. Stress and anxiety. I already really struggle with anxiety, you know what I mean? Struggle with the mental stuff. I don't know where I would be without exercise and nutrition mentally. You know what I mean? I don't know how people go through life without it.
yeah.
So it was so stressful, man. And then after I had a kid, it like 10x's the stress, you know? Now I have two. I can't imagine going back to that job.
Yeah.
Anyone that's in my current field right now will tell you the same thing. So it's just stress, and it's just doing something every day that you don't want to do. And I'm literally giving up a pension. I'm giving up a pension to follow what I want to do every day.
Yep.
It's either stay stuck somewhere for another 30 years and get rewarded with a pension after, or follow this crazy journey I've been on for just over a year and a half and see where it takes me. I mean,
With the pension thing, this might be an unpopular opinion, but it's almost like you're trading what life you have now for the life you.
it's a great
May
way to put
have
it. And
at
that's
the
what I
end.
weighed out in my head. You said it much better than I did, but
Yep.
that's a great way to put it. Like, what I'm going to be miserable for 30 years to be secure after that 30 years,
Yeah.
where I can grind and do something I'm interested in.
You have to think about the emotional debt, like over that 30 years, like the emotional debt, the anxiety, the stress debt that you're taking on for 30 years to get to a point where you're quote unquote secure, but you're really not fulfilled.
Not at all.
So
Yeah.
how secure are you?
I agree. And
You know?
I'm a little sick to touch on that. I'm out right now. I'm using up all my vacation. I
Yeah.
still get the work emails on the phone. A lot of people just delete that.
Yeah.
And I'm like mentally putting myself in a position of reading those work emails like I didn't have.
Yeah.
I'm not in the position I am in today.
Yeah.
It like just makes me feel so appreciative because I'm reading some of the shit and I'm like, I cannot imagine if I was stuck in this for
I
another 25
know,
30
that's
years.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That's a lot of the feeling. It's you're in that entrepreneurial like bliss phase where you like the honeymoon phase where you just break free from the chain.
It's a grind.
Yeah,
We'll
no.
get to the grinds. It's not all
No.
rainbows and butterflies.
What I'm saying is the mental state, like
100%.
like it's
Yeah.
like when I remember my first days of breaking free, and like I remember texting each other like, dude, this is fucking amazing. I was literally like, I'm working harder than I ever have in my life, like literally like all day, all night at my computer, just
Yeah.
fucking working, and. It's funny like you're in like a honeymoon phase of like, oh my god, like this is amazing, like I'm free.
Yeah.
Like,
You want to know what my
Yeah.
dream day is? My
yeah,
dream day.
Yeah.
Coach a couple classes at Fit Stop, work out, go home, and get on my treadmill desk and just do content for 12 straight hours.
And
Yeah.
that's like my dream day.
And you can do that every day now.
Well, not with two kids, but yes.
Yeah. Well, that's your own
That will
fault.
throw, I agree.
That's your own doing.
I told you guys not to.
You did. You were warned. You did warn.
I say
And I'm
keep
in the
going.
thick
I
of
say
it.
keep going.
I'm in the thick of it. But that's like my ideal day. Like that's how much
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. I love it. And I think like if you aren't like obsessed and passionate, like it's tough to be all in if you're not obsessed.
Now you have to be. Yeah.
Like it's all I think about. And I'm sure we'll get to this, but that's very tough when it comes to being a present father, being a present husband, you know what I mean? Because they're two contradicting things. It's tough to be all in. Like I just said, my dream day is to literally do 8 hours of content on my walking pad. But I can't do that. I have to be a dad. I have to help my wife out. It's not fair to her to have the kids all day. You know what I mean? I got to pick up my one son from daycare. You know? So a lot goes into it.
Yeah.
That is the ongoing delicate balance of being an entrepreneur and a father, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
It's because we are so, like you said, like obsessed and relentlessly committed to our purpose and what we want to build in life that working everything else in is almost sometimes the hard part, whereas other people live for that stuff and live for those breaks and weekends and vacations. So the one thing Joey and I talk about a lot about is the work-life mix. And it's like you wake up and you just have 24 hours in a day. And it's up to you what you fill those hours with. Whereas another kind of person or a person that's in the rat race may only have 14 hours. You know what I mean? Because 10 of their hours are spent driving to work, working for someone else who controls all of the aspects of their time. And then they come home and they only have so much energy to expend. So,
and they're completely checked out. They don't have anything to worry about after that. It's just family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the unfortunate part is a lot of times they're so emotionally and physically drained by the work they've done and who they've done it for that they don't even have energy or the mental bandwidth to provide their kids. You know what I mean?
100%.
And it's sad. And I think a lot of people work like that.
Yeah, I think so. Like you said, structure. The only way I survive personally is structure is freedom. Like I keep my days very structured, and there's boundaries, and there are certain hours that are just family, you know. And I'm not saying like it always goes that way, but this is the structure I try to live by. There's certain hours that are just family. There's an hour and a half that is just jujitsu, and then everything else is fuel hunt. I mean. And that's it. Like it's addition by subtraction. Like, you know, if you want to be great at something, you can't do everything. You know, and I want to be a great dad. You know, I want to be a great leader. You know, at Fuel Hunt, I want to be a great grappler. And they're the three things that I've selected during this decade of my life, and that's that.
I love that.
Otherwise, you try to do everything, you do nothing. You know, so I find that for me now. Granted, some days are hard. And not every day is like this, but I find for me that since I didn't condemn my dream to death by working for somebody, right, that I actually have more energy. Yes, being an entrepreneur is stressful, it's taxing, you're overworked, but I feel like when I put the time into what we're doing here, it actually gives me energy to be a better grappler, to be a better father, because I didn't condemn my dream to death. Like, I know that all the work I'm doing, the hard work that I'm doing, is to realize our mission and my dreams. That actually energizes me. Yes, if I worked for somebody and condemned my dream to death, would I be, quote unquote, I wouldn't have anything to worry about when I came home and I could just be there for my kids? I could, but I'd be checked out.
100%.
Because my mind would be on my dream that I just condemned to death.
Then that's how it was too when we were starting this, and then
it gnaws at you, it scratches at you, it claws at you. So we talk a lot about hard work, and our mission is to restore the dignity of hard work. But hard work it's an umbrella term, and you hit on a couple things. Like, it doesn't just take hard work to actualize your dream or turn your side hustle into your main gig. It takes risk, right? You're risking your pension. It takes discomfort, right? Embracing discomfort. It takes pain. It takes planning. It takes so much. Like, all that is wrapped up in the umbrella that is hard work, you know? And it's magnified. It gets even more complicated when you have a family and you have children.
To even put it more literal, saying it takes more than just hard work, it's like how you brought up where people spend years in the gym and never look any better. It's because the hard work.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same principle.
It applies the same. Like the hard work is nutrition or the lifestyle or the sleep or the sunlight. Like that's
Yeah, so it's not just exercising.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like all the other things. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, exercise, but exercising alone isn't going to recomp your body.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's like
Every
we use
little
these
thing
we use
adds
these
up.
umbrella terms, but yeah, sorry.
Well, all right. So you're out of college. You're jacked, right?
You're jacked.
Per Drew.
You're a meathead. You're a meathead.
I was a
You
meathead.
got-
That's a
yeah.
very good way to put it. That's better.
You start to fall in love with health, fitness, biohacking, lifestyle, etc. You go in your career in law enforcement, and then you start to feel this gnawing desire to chase your dreams and live a life of fulfillment and purpose. Can you take us back to starting FTV? Right, like what was, aside from all the stuff that I like may have told you like as advice, but like what was your first actionable steps, and what may have been the hardest part about starting in general?
Yeah, great question. When I first started, all I did was announce I was a health and fitness coach. And at the time, dead honest, I don't even know what the hell that meant. what am I going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just work one-on-one with someone. It's so like broad, you know what I mean? I started listening to coaching podcasts right away. This is after I announced that I was a health and fitness coach. I quickly got a client right away that I went to great. Like, you never know who you're going to connect with. A kid I went to grade school with reached out right away for one-on-one coaching. I didn't have any testimonials,
crazy.
nothing.
Yeah.
All I had was my physique. You know
And
what I
he was
mean?
ready to
And by
pay.
that time, I
But
was
that is testimonial in itself.
well, for any aspiring coaches out there, I heard a great quote on a podcast, and this has kept me in check, off the camera, everything. I am my own walking business card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What I do off camera, you will see, because there's no hiding your body.
Yeah.
You're a reflection of your habits, diet, and lifestyle. So
I was gonna
that's-
ask you to say that your quote is like, my body is my business.
my
right?
body is my business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when the wife is like, live a little, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Every family member, every holiday, every party, live a little, live a little. Now I have an excuse not to.
It's what Jill is always complaining. It's just like, ever since he started this coach, I think my body's my business. My
Body's
body's
my business.
But that's the mindset that you need.
Yeah.
And to do right by your people, that's the way you need to live.
Yeah.
I need
So-
to be that example. How can I expect someone who's 30 pounds overweight to show up if I can't show up
Yep.
on a Saturday or Sunday?
Your friends and family want the best for you, or your friends and family want the best for you. I think that's where it's coming from, like the live a little. But what they don't understand is like for you to truly live, you need to live this way.
Yeah.
And that's
100%.
not everybody's gig. That's
Yeah.
not everybody's dream, but
Yeah.
it's yours. And to truly live, this is the way
Like,
you
I'm
must
all
live.
in. I am
Yeah.
all in on this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not for everyone. I'm
Yeah.
all in.
For sure.
But to piggyback when I got started, so yeah, I literally announced I was a health and fitness coach because you said it perfectly. It was gnawing at me.
Yeah.
It was like, do something. You have all this. To me, I had all this knowledge and everything. You know what I mean? I was doing all this stuff that I post now I was doing this behind the scenes for years.
You're living it.
I was living it.
Yeah.
But I was just too much of a pussy to put it out there on social media. When my first son was born, I brought resistance bands
Yeah.
to the hospital. You know what I mean? But I didn't have the balls to put that on social media. I sent it to like Drew and them because they were close friends with similar goals.
Yeah.
But I would be embarrassed to do that. But that's just who I am. You know what I mean? And who
What
cares?
was it about that? I think that's amazing, by the way. But what was it about? What kept you from putting it on social media?
Because it's like, first of all, it's not my business, so it's like, why am I?
You're just a dork.
I'm just you know what I mean? I'm not gaining anything from this. But it's like he can't even go to the hospital with his wife without like working out or something.
Yeah.
But now it's like, no, that is who I am. You know what I mean? I have to move. I am not going to sit in a room. I don't care what the event is and do nothing. That is me.
I mean, arguably, when you're at the hospital for a birth of your child, you need to be your best self. You need to be the most energetic. So if resistance bands and moving help you feel that way, then you should do it.
That's what I should have said. See, you guys are much more well spoken.
You know what I
than me.
mean?
You know what I
Then
mean?
you should do it.
Joe is.
But that's the way I am. You know what I mean? Like with my diet, how I move, what I do, it's like, look, I have to be at my best all the time.
Yeah.
And if what I do to feel my best isn't what you do, that's cool. But this is me.
I
You
love
know?
that. That's
So-
and that's where I've reached. That was hard for me to get
Yeah.
there.
Oh, it's
Oh, yeah.
it's
You know
super
what I mean?
difficult.
When you're young, and I'm 32 now, so it's easy for me to say that now. But when I'm younger, you lash out at people when someone has an opposite mindset of you. You know what I mean? Your insecure thoughts come out. You know, now it's just like, oh yeah, you do. If you want 2 pieces of cake, have 2 pieces. I don't care.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm not going to divulge in that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to do me over here. You know what I mean?
I think a lot part of the growth as well, like that we're talking about, is like you don't judge as much anymore. Like
100%.
the old Drew, the old Frank, we definitely may have been like,
Yeah, because all I cared about is what people thought of me. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking about, you know what I mean?
like if your
Yeah.
family member does reach for that extra piece of cake, you're like, oh my god, can you believe
to,
that? But
to some degree, like I think we judge because we too want the best for them.
Yeah.
But what you don't realize a lot of times till later in life is that the way to truly show them that there's a better way or you want the best for them is to live your best and set like a great example.
Yeah.
And then if you have a family member that's going for the 3rd piece of cake, you judging them or talking to them constantly about it isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You setting a great example with your health and fitness and your achievements in life and your energy levels on a daily basis, that example will get them to think differently and then maybe make different choices.
oh yeah,
Yeah, judging is we're primal creatures, man. We don't want to be ostracized from the tribe.
Yeah, exactly. You just want to
And
blend
there's so
in,
much
fit in.
average.
Correct.
So the minute you step outside of average, you're like, oh, this feels dangerous because I know I'm outside of average, and if I start talking about it, people are going to say, well, I remember when you did this in college, or I remember when you used to drink your face off, or I remember this, or I remember that. Yeah, I remember it too, and that's why I changed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So. And making fun of
well said.
yourself, which is what I never did growing up, but making fun of yourself, especially, it's just so relatable to people.
Yeah.
You have to roll with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We have in the community, we say, do you, do no harm. And that's like one of our most popular, do you is like one of our most popular mantras or OGs.
Love
because it's just like, that's what needs to be done.
Correct.
That's what needs to be
Just
done.
do what
And
you
not
want
in
to do.
not in a selfish way, like,
Nope.
oh, only God can judge me. I do me. I hear that all the time. I mean, growing up in the city, you hear that all the time. Oh yeah, do me. No, is do you meaning what really sets you on fire, what you have in your heart? Do you express it, use it to serve others, to help them on their journeys in life?
Love it.
do you and your people and your purpose will find you. So that's right.
Love it.
All right, so you get your first it was a paying customer that
Paying
first?
customer.
Wow.
Before I even took one for free.
Did you have prices set?
No, I literally had to make it up. I had to make it up. Now
We call that
I've come
that
a long way.
I can't curse, but we call that figure it the F out.
Figure the F out.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to learn anything. It's
Yeah.
not fun.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
I'm so systematic, you know what I mean? I have systems for everything.
Yep.
So flying by the seat of your pants isn't fun for me. You know what I mean? I can't live like that.
But in the entrepreneurial journey, I'm literally just telling Tim over there. But he's like, I don't really have a plan. I'm just figuring it out. Like we all are, dude. Like even
Yeah.
the people further ahead of you are still figuring it out. Like we may just figure it out a little bit more,
Yeah.
right? Like, so like I believe that is true about anyone in life or in business that they've
nobody
just
has.
figured out a little bit more than you have already, or they've
Just
just
you're
been
further down the path,
Yeah,
dude.
they've
That's
been
all it
figuring
is.
out longer.
Yeah, that's all it is. A little further down the path.
So how does it go with that first customer? Did you?
It went well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing when it comes to nutrition and fitness. I was confident in that. I would have never announced myself as a health and fitness coach if I didn't.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know what I'm doing there.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got results. I wasn't as organized, you know what I mean? Now I'm very month-to-month coaching, 12-week program, which is what majority. I have a private Facebook community. You know what I mean?
So that first customer may have gotten the deluxe. Like you're probably so attentive to his needs and
I was, but I was still so inexperienced in that department.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like now I have weekly check-ins with every single client. I was kind of just flying by the seat of my pants with him, checking in every other day or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
not knowing
Now you're much more systematic.
yeah,
100%. And you have to be as you grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's funny, I reached out to him and I let him know that, hey, you were because he emailed me out of the blue with an update, like how well he was doing, which was
Yeah.
so cool. And I haven't heard from this guy in a year and a half. And he reaches out to me, I want to say like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, hey, I just want to update you. I'm down like 30 pounds since I first started working with you. blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you were the first person that reached out to me. Like, I never told him that. You don't want to tell your first customer, hey, you're my first, be my guinea pig over here. You know what I mean? So I told him that, and I'm like, I gave him a huge discounted price if he ever wanted to come back and work.
Yeah.
I was like, a lot's changed since then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm much more systematic. Gave him my e-cookbook, said I'm on the way.
free?
You know what I mean? For free, yeah.
Wow.
Well, a Drew Joey move that I'm learning. You know what I mean?
A give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Theoretically, you were your first customer. I could make that.
True.
I could make that argument theoretically. You know
100%.
what I mean? You didn't pay yourself for it, but you kind of did.
you paid
in a
yourself
way.
in health and years.
Yeah.
Yeah, longevity.
And and in purpose.
I
Passion.
think gifts like that and just general acts of gratitude is something I try and do on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that's huge for you to be like, hey man, like thanks for taking a chance on me, like when no one else did. And here's my e-cookbook for free. What was his response? So was he like,
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I was very grateful, and I literally thought of you doing it. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I take everything you tell me. You might think I
Well-
throw it right away. I bank it, Drew.
Bank it.
he
I like that.
As long as it's working, dude.
It's working.
When you're a millionaire, health and fitness coach, I mean, I'll remember.
That's a lot of clients.
I got
don't
this
know
all
if I
recorded,
have
so
the time to support that.
I got this all recorded, so I can come back and be like, yeah, Frank, remember when you said this?
I got you.
All right, so after that first client, was it off to the races or was there?
No, it
All
was
right.
slow.
Yeah,
It was dire.
yeah.
Then you start working with people for free for client. Free challenge is what really.
You get that first
Blew up.
client, and you're like, holy shit, like I'm
Yeah,
the,
this is
I'm the
easy,
man.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
No, of course not.
But like, in your head, you're like, damn, like this might be easier than I thought. Like,
Yes,
like
for sure.
yeah, and then you got to cross the Sahara, so that's where.
But and then I like the prices that I came up with at the time. I'm like, I'm gonna need 3 million customers to quit a job. What am I doing here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was growing on social media before I really started growing my client list.
Yeah.
And again, it is the only place you can advertise for free.
Yeah.
You can post every single day. Social media, it's free. Put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's easier said than done. Put yourself out there. I started a free challenge, 14-day challenge, and that I was off to the races from there.
Yeah.
I kind of never looked back from there,
Really?
like a month in. So
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, well, that's still legit.
But you still go up and down. There's slow months, and you're
yeah.
like, "Oh my god, am I dead?
yeah,
Is this over? Is everything over?" And then it'll pick back. Then you get hot again.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
business, though.
Yeah. And that's why it's always tough for people to take the jump because everyone's so used to their entire life getting this steady. You know when you're getting paid. You know how much your paycheck's gonna
It's-
be.
Realistically, I mean, it's another maybe unpopular, but you're almost like a mouse on a wheel. It's like they give you just the right amount of
Correct.
right
To
amount
keep
of
you going.
cheese to keep you running, and then
And when you're about to run out, you need.
yeah, yeah, that's how it
100%.
is. That's how it is. So it seems as though it was pretty good, right? Like from the beginning to the being able to sustain yourself and quit your job. So
Not in the no. Not
what
that
was
big.
what was the most challenging part where you're like, I don't know, like were you ever like to Jill, like I'm not sure if I'm able to do this.
Yeah, the most challenging part is doing the content every single day. Like I said before, we talked about it, but being a dad, being a husband, like if Jill and I, my wife and I go out to a restaurant, like I'm sorry, Jill, we're doing a review here where you're filming me eating this food and I'm going to edit it on the way home
Yeah.
and then I have to get it ready to post tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ninja Creamy reviews every Friday and Saturday for the most part.
Yeah.
I need to, that's my weekend content. No matter what we're doing, I have to prep a creamy and this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? We have to stop. You have to film me. So it's exhausting behind the scenes. And I have non-negotiables. I have at least one post a day, at least one reel every single day. One post will be Monday through Friday. Reels every single day. I don't miss on that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then to touch on when was the hardest part is definitely when a whole month goes by and you don't get a new client and the client list is dwindling down.
Yeah.
And my law enforcement job is getting busier and busier and I'm getting more depressed and anxious.
Yeah.
And then, hey, I got a 1-year-old at home. I got to be a better dad to this little guy.
Plus, you're sleep deprived at that
Sleep
point,
deprived.
right? Yeah.
That is almost, I think, the roughest part when you're burning the candle at both ends and you're literally at your max for both. Like,
Yeah.
if I can recall years ago, like that was probably it for me. When it was like, I was like, I fucking you're having success in this other thing. So every little thing at the main gig is like this fucking bullshit.
Again,
like,
you said that to me, and it resonated, and I felt it. I felt it.
Yeah.
Like any email I got, it drove me insane
I just
inside.
fucking quit right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I wasn't at the point to do that yet.
No.
And then you also got to have a talk with your wife if she supports you. Because if your wife doesn't support you in that, I'm probably going to have to be miserable at this job for another 20, 30 years. If she's not in your corner, like, we're going to make this work at all costs.
Yep. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Shout out to Jill
Shout out Jill.
being a supportive wife.
100%.
Yeah, she is the best.
It's not possible without that behind the scenes.
That is a big, and we know this best, but having your spouse or partner support you, I've seen it tear marriages apart because sometimes the person you are when you marry this person isn't the person that wants to set off and do all this crazy shit, like go build their personal training business.
Oh, that wasn't me when she married. She married a guy in law enforcement with a pension, and you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah. I wonder if Amanda knows she married the psychopath she did.
Well, no way. There's no chance.
I don't know. I was always like spinning things up, and I went into sales, gave up my whole salary, my first like.
That's amazing.
So I think she was ready for the ride, the wild ride. So you think that point of burning the candle at both ends and having success, or not success, but feeling like you are on the right path to being able to quit and being so fed up with your day to day might have been your most challenging point.
Yeah, because like I said, like when I was up to like 15 to 20 clients at a time, you're like, wow, like this is gonna happen. I'm gonna quit this shit. Like, you know, and then it's a month goes by and you don't have a new client.
Yeah.
And work is still the same thing there.
Yeah.
And you're just like, God, like I thought I was at the peak. Like I thought I was just gonna climb. You know what I mean? I haven't gotten a client in a month and a half. Am I really gonna be stuck at this job and then doing this on the side the whole time? Because it's very hard to do your full.
Yeah.
The content, like the business is a business in itself.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing that on top of my full-time job. You know what I mean? Not to mention family and everything like that.
Yeah.
So that it's hard. It's a grind.
No, I agree.
Yeah, there's no guarantees. The only guarantee is the grind. That's the way
That's
it works.
it.
That's the only guarantee is the grind.
That's it.
There's no guarantees, and like, it's funny because everybody quits not everybody quits their job, but everybody pursues entrepreneurship to be their own boss because they want to be free. What they don't realize is it takes many years to earn that freedom, that concept of freedom that they have in their mind.
Yeah.
There's different. It's like a ladder. It's
Yeah.
a ladder to freedom. There's different rungs on it, and I think people don't realize that. Like, unbeatable law of the universe is that there are seasons. There are seasons. There's winter, there's fall, there's spring, there's summer, and it's no different in a business. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Did you say the gift is the grind?
I said the only guarantee is the grind.
Guarantee is the grind.
And to piggyback
that's
off
truth.
that, I don't think I was chasing freedom. I was just chasing health and fitness. Like this shit is what I am obsessed with. It's what I know. It's what I want to do every single day. How long have we had morning routines for, Drew? Years. You know what I mean? Like we wake up every single day and shit. I don't just wake up, waltz out of bed, hit snooze a couple times, get my coffee, sit on the couch. Every day I start something hard. And that is just who I am.
Yeah.
So to go back to what I said about Frank was always taking it to another level, like is taking bands to labor, like
To the hospital,
like I might do that. I could do
That's
that.
something I would do.
So however, Frank, can you walk us through your current morning routine?
Yeah, so I got it down to 40 minutes to a science now because I coach 5:15 classes, which means I got to leave my house around 4:30 a.m. And sleep is huge. I'm not a sleep when you die guy. Sleep is very important.
For sure.
So before I had my second son 2 weeks ago, I was getting 7 hours of sleep, which is like my minute. I got to hit that. You know what I mean? But up at 3:45, we got a red light, 10 minutes after I oil pull. So we tongue scrape, oil pull immediately. We're going to oil pull while we red light. You got to red light naked. More skin exposure, the better. Then we go right into the cold plunge.
Right into the plunge. 3:45.
3 minute.
Plunge.
We're at 35-degree cold plunge. 3 minutes. We get out. We're shaking cold for a good almost hour afterwards. But then we stretch, light movement, jumping jacks, push-ups, squats, head out the door for work.
Like
Okay.
that's a dialed. That's a
Dialed, yeah.
If I want my health and wellness coach to have a morning routine, that's what I want it to be personally. Like my man's doing a plunge at 3:45.
It's got to be done. I can't give it up.
I like that it's dialed in and it's 40 minutes and that's
It used to be
that.
like Drew will tell you. We used to have like hour routines.
The
Without kid,
COVID.
before I had a kid, COVID.
COVID,
we were saunaing. I mean, it was like an hour and a half went by. I couldn't get out of bed without doing an hour and a half routine. It's like something's got to change here.
Yeah, for sure.
That was maybe our one.
It was in the beginning.
Downfall was that it was like I couldn't do anything without. If I didn't sauna without first thing in the morning, I was like,
How was I going to go on the rest of my day?
So I've adapted since then, but I'm definitely still red light. I'm not plunging first thing in the morning. That's just crazy.
I'm trying to get Drew on top of that.
Nah, that's great.
If you're going to do cold plunges, guys, do it in the morning.
Well, we'll get to the FTV health and fitness tips.
Okay.
So we covered a lot. What is the plan for FTV moving forward? So you said you are quitting your full-time job. Like what's the next?
Yeah, so and my immediate supervisors know that's at State Parole. I don't think anyone from State Parole is listening to this podcast.
Okay.
I was one of the lone wolves in law enforcement.
Mary might be listening.
Mary, she's not even with State Parole anymore. They all move on.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, I have like 11 weeks vacation. And throughout my time working with State Parole, the wife was always like, what are you saving all that vacation for? You know what I mean? You can't go here. You can't go. This is why. So here we are. So 11 weeks, burning up the 11 weeks. I'll give my notice right after that. I'm coaching full time at FitStop, Northern Liberties, Cherry Hill, and FTV it's bigger than ever right now.
Yeah,
I think meeting a bunch of like-minded people at FitStop, you know what I mean? That has really 10x'd it.
And that puts your credibility on a whole new level too.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I was only working technically online with people.
Yeah.
Now I'm literally in person with someone an entire group of people every single day.
Nice.
All right. So the next step is to ride that out, and then
I'm not stopping, man. It's
yeah. Well,
trying to be
the 11
bigger,
weeks, the 11
bigger
weeks.
and better than ever. You know what I mean? Yeah, 11 weeks. That's it. Literally, I'm done.
Yeah.
The paychecks with the state stop, and we're gonna grind. We're gonna figure it out. I'm saving up as much money as I can now. You know what I mean? Daycare is sickening. If you have any kids out there, and do the math on what you're paying for daycare, it's absolutely sickening. But we're grinding, and I'm gonna make it happen. It's gonna happen because I'm gonna make it happen.
Oh yeah.
That's
That's the only mindset you're gonna have too.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, I have two. I want to get 6 tips from you.
6. Wow.
3 business tips for side hustle entrepreneurs out there
Okay.
trying to make it their full-time gig, and then we'll get to the health and fitness stuff.
Wow.
So what are 3 tips you would give anyone that was in your position or is in your position? Because the people that listen, the thousands of people listen to this,
Yep.
some of them are going to be in your shoes or
Okay.
where you were. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So what would you recommend?
One, I'm not a business guru, so never was a business guy, law enforcement guy. One, start. It's the hardest thing to do is start. It was gnawing at me. Drew put it great. And Drew was pushing me to come out way before I came out. So follow your instincts, you know what I mean? Just start. It's the hardest thing to do, no matter what you're contemplating doing. Start. Social media is free advertisement.
Yeah.
Number 2, I think you got to be obsessed. I mean, it's going to sound stupid. Like I see some stuff online, Twitter's like how to start your own business making $10,000 a month. And it was like window washing. It's like power washing. It's like, I don't give a fuck about window washing or power washing.
Yeah.
How can I be passionate and all in on this shit? I don't care if I'm making $120K a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's number 2. And number 3, stop caring what people think. It's going to hold you back. You live in these prisons of what people think. And other people, if they want to work 40 years in a union job, that is great. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't want to wake up every day and do something I absolutely hate to do for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Would you, so I love those 3.
They're
On the
great.
first one, right?
Yep.
Would you agree that the longer you wait to start, the harder it is to start?
100%.
Okay.
So I have regrets about that because I waited to start something after I had a child. And it is 10x harder.
It gets much more complex.
100
Could
times.
you imagine
So
the
that's-
damage we would do now?
Oh
like,
my
in our prospective fields if we were
My
just
dream day, I could do every single day of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
know. That was the hard part. I had entrepreneurial goal. You remember I was in college, like talking to you about like asking your advice on things. and I was just pushed back into the rat race, dude. Like people, my parents, and God bless them. Like God
My
love them.
dad thinks I'm making a mistake leaving
Yeah.
the state.
Yeah, they're like,
And
you need to get a job. And I
in
was
some ways,
like,
that's the way he wants the best for you.
Yeah.
He just doesn't. He's not living the
Can't
life that you have to
comprehend
live.
that I'm taking a chance on my. He was a mailman for 30-something years. Absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
Walking and delivering mail every day.
The world has changed.
100%.
Yeah.
tell you what,
what I
all
mean?
that low intensity steady state cardio, that was
Oh,
probably.
I said it kept him alive. I told him.
In the
Yeah,
sun,
for sure.
This is all.
And the sun, yeah.
This is off the record. I told him you're going to drop dead in 2 weeks after you retire, Dad, because he's a pack-a-day smoker. He drinks 2 cases of Miller every week.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
my
So I'm like,
God.
Dad, your job saved your life.
That is
Yeah, for
true.
sure.
You know what
That
I mean?
is true.
Yeah.
But he's still kicking. He's retired like 3-4 years now. He's still
okay,
kicking. He's
good.
proved me wrong. So.
All right, good. And you're gonna, and not that your goal is to prove him wrong, but you're gonna do the same thing with what you're doing now.
Yeah.
You're gonna make sure that he knows that the risks that you're taking were calculated and following your purpose and passion and worth it. So
100%.
But I always like to, I agree with you. Starting is the hardest part. I always like to underscore it by saying the longer you wait to start, the harder it's going to be to start.
Love that.
It's the same with like your fitness.
Yes.
Like if you know there's fitness issues that you have, health issues that you have, right? And you're waiting to address them
Yep.
and you're letting them compound, it's going to be harder to address them when you finally get the balls to do so.
The best, corniest quote, the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago.
Yep.
The next best time is today.
Yep.
It's the corniest, but that like resonated with me so much.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably what you're going for is like kind of like one of those cliches, but it's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah.
You know? So I wanted to hit on that first thing, and then the third thing, you said stop caring what people think.
Yep.
And if I could underscore that with another thing, stop thinking that they actually care.
Love
Right.
that.
So it's twofold, right?
Yes, 100%.
So everybody says, "Yeah, stop caring what they think." The way to do that is to stop thinking that they
That they
actually
even give a
care.
shit.
They're not going to be at your funeral.
Yep.
They might care for
Not paying your
literally.
bills.
They may care for 90 seconds when they see your reel, and then you and your reel are gone from their mind, and
Love
that's
that.
the reality of it.
Love it.
So, like you said, everybody's imprisoning themselves, right, in this jail cell of
Yep.
other people's opinions.
Yep.
Their opinions are so fleeting, and they're only based on 99% of them are based on their lived experiences, not truth. You know, so stop caring what they think for sure. Stop thinking that they care.
It's interesting, and this might open a whole new can of worms that we don't have time for right now. But I find that whenever I see something on social media or that I have a negative reaction to, like it strikes me in the wrong way, when you click your phone off and put it down, like it doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
not- yeah.
that feeling is just
Out of
gone.
sight, out of mind.
So it's crazy to think that we make permanent decisions based on what people might feel for that split second of time, and that they completely forget about when they put their phone down and don't see me on social media.
I know. That is so fearful. That's the biggest fear for some people.
I know. All right.
So 3 health and fitness tips.
Yeah. So
Right.
so to bring it in for a landing, for people that may be just starting in health and fitness, they don't know where to start and they don't work with FTV yet. What are 3 key tips that you think everybody should be doing for overall health and wellness?
Okay, so not to overdo this, but the best teaching tool when it comes to nutrition is tracking your calories. Don't obsess. Don't say, oh my God, is this a half gram off? Oh my God, did I go over by a gram here? Track your calories. Find out what you're eating every day and how much you're eating. If your goal is to lose fat, never go a day eating more carbs than protein. Simple rule of thumb. If you're trying to gain weight, you're going to need the carbs. Okay, majority of people are trying to lose weight, lose fat. Never go a full day eating more carbs than protein. Number 2, don't be scared to strength train and walk. That combo right there is the biggest fat burning combo.
Yeah.
A lot of people think, I want to lose weight. Hey, I got to get on this elliptical for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And people are miserable doing it. People think of running and they want to kill themselves. Their knees hurt, their ankles hurt. You don't have to run to lose weight. More muscle equals more calories burned at rest. That's what we want. Your basal metabolic rate, which is your metabolism. More muscle, you're going to be burning more calories when you sit on the couch. That's the goal.
So you're suggesting even overweight people that want to lose weight, they should start strength training.
100%. It's one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make. And that's why people phase out. They go to the gym. Who wants to go on an elliptical for 30 minutes? I love exercising. I would hate to get on an elliptical for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's daunting. It's a daunting task.
Yeah.
Start getting comfortable lifting weights. More muscle, more calories burned at rest. And also your cardio can be walking. I walk every single day. Before my second child was just born, I was averaging 20K steps per day at my walking treadmill.
Yeah.
That was average.
Yeah, like I said, the Frank would always take it to a new level. Like I would miss the walks. Like Frank, like, sure, you gotta walk, dude. Like you gotta get more walks in. Like
Non-negotiables.
the dude doesn't miss the walks, doesn't miss the cold point. Like he doesn't miss.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
Non-negotiables.
you
Yeah,
want to coach?
20-minute lunchtime walk a day, and I won't eat my apple unless I can walk after it. Because you got to control those blood sugar spikes. So that's not tip number 3, though. That's just an
that's
additional
what I'm saying. We're getting a little bit.
That's a
deep.
little, too sciencey for people. Number 3, what you do outside the gym, what you eat, diet and lifestyle habits will have the biggest impact on your body comp and your weight. Yeah. So people neglect that. Ozempic's big right now. All Ozempic does, it's a peptide that makes you feel full. So it just puts you in a calorie deficit. It's not a magic pill, you know what I mean? And that's why the majority of people that get off of it gain the weight back, because they go right back. They fall back on their habits, diet, and lifestyle. That same thing goes for supplements. Diet and lifestyle rule all. Don't waste money on supplements. I can't tell you how much garbage supplements I've put in my body over the years when I was trying to get
How much mass gainer do you think?
Mass gainer. I mean, imagine what's in a mass gainer.
Yeah.
It's just so bad for you. By the way, last thing, creatine and essential aminos are all the only things you need.
This is a bonus tip.
That's a bonus
Bonus
tip.
tip.
We want to go 10 tips? I might add a couple more.
Well, you gotta give them something to pay for. With that.
And you got to let everyone know where to find you at,
Yeah,
so they
yeah,
can get
yes.
the rest. They can get the other.
Well,
That's the next.
Yeah.
So if someone listening wants to work with, they like what they see, they like, this dude's body is his business. I need to work with this guy. Where can they find you and how should they reach out?
FTV Fitness 92 on all social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Fill out the health questionnaire in my bio. I provide as much free value as I possibly can before I even get into my coaching programs.
FTV Fitness and the number 9 and the number 2.
FTV Fitness was taken.
I
Go
was
figure.
going to say, you
I don't do it
didn't
for fun.
consult with me on the 92.
Yeah.
before you-
FTV Fitness 92 on all social media platforms. And that was another thing. I've never edited or posted content anywhere before this. Didn't even know how to make a reel on Instagram before I posted.
Yeah.
So that's another bonus tip.
So-
Figure it out on the fly.
Some members of the community that may be interested in learning about your experiences from going from side hustle to main gig, they can reach out to you too, so you
That
can
would
kick
be
around the
amazing.
DMs.
100%. Love
Okay,
helping
cool.
anyone I can. I used to also be in the Rise community,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
which was
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I was booted out for putting too much nutrition content in there.
I just-
No, I'm kidding. I know it. I didn't have enough time to make content geared more towards for the
Yeah.
Rise family.
Yeah.
It was more just towards nutrition and fitness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, we
I'm
would
a
welcome
big boy, guys.
We
I'm a
would
big
welcome
boy.
you back. We would welcome you back with open arms. That was
You
also
gotta-
before we had channels. I think.
Yes.
Now we have
Yeah.
some channels and
Yeah,
stuff
it
in
was-
there
Oh, okay.
too.
Nutrition channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was like
Let's
every
just make
day.
a Frank channel. Just keep him over here.
An FTV
I'm
channel.
sold after the show.
We
After the show, I'm sold.
actually should have you come on Rise. For those of you who don't know, Rise are paid
Private community.
private community to where we bore a lot more value than you'll get on this podcast or on Instagram. We should have you on to talk to the members and like answer any
that'd be
questions.
awesome.
Now that they can listen to this and be like, wow, I have so many questions for this guy.
Yeah.
On both sides too.
Yeah.
So health and fitness, and
Yeah,
also the
yeah.
side hustle to main gig
Yeah.
side.
100%.
Cool.
Yeah, so without further ado, Frank, I will check us out. You got anything else, Joe?
I'm good. Let's do it. I had a blast. Thank you.
Eagles.
man.
Thank you, guys.
Remember, always choose effort over entitlement. Always choose hard work over handouts. And remember, no one owes you. No one owns you. You're one of the few. Let's get it.